Hey guys, it's Kiwi here, and I've been asked to share a couple of little things about myself, so here we go. I was born in New Zealand, hence the name Kiwi. It's after the bird, it's not after the fruit. Anyone from New Zealand is proud to be called a Kiwi. We embrace it, so don't be afraid to use the name Kiwi on any New Zealander. I graduated in 1994 with a computer science degree, and I went and worked for the New Zealand America's Cup team in San Diego. My next door neighbor was actually the head of the New Zealand syndicate, so he hooked me up with a job because he knew I'd always wanted to go to America. So we actually won the cup that year. It was incredibly exciting to be part of that whole journey. And I just fell in love with San Diego and with America, so I stayed on when everyone else went back. I ended up going up to Silicon Valley and applying my computer science degree, working for a really cool advertising company that in that day was moving from print to building websites. So I learned to code HTML from scratch, and I built the first website for Apple and Clinique and Dockers and a lot of these sort of really cool brands that this advertising company had as clients. We were right next door to the Apple campus, and actually on my first day on the job I got a pager and it went off and it said meet Steve Jobs in his office at 4 o'clock. I still remember it clear as day, and I was freaking out. So I went to my boss, said, hey, what's this about? He's like, oh, don't worry, that was the guy before you who ended up getting fired. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, don't worry, right? So anyway, I never got to meet Steve Jobs, but had a great time there. I ended up going, I was living in San Francisco and working in Cupertino, and I ended up getting my master's in internet marketing at University of San Francisco as well. So after all of that, working for a lot of different companies, I ended up starting my own company, partnering with a guy called Chris McCormick, who was a two-time Ironman world champion in triathlon. We started an online community. Actually, at first it was just a bunch of training sessions, and then I did an upsell for a community. We ended up getting over 1,000 people sign up all around the world as members, paying a monthly fee, and it became a very, very successful little company. And we ended up getting a job offer in Thailand to run a huge sports resort. So I moved there with him, and while I was down there, I ended up meeting my wife, Jenny, who is now living with me here in Las Vegas. And we were there for 4 years, but when I came back to New America for Christmas, I met up with Howard, and this is in 2017. He is telling me about Ylopo. I got to meet G. Howard gave me an offer, and I honestly, after meeting G and always wanting to work for Howard and him being just such a big mentor in my life, it was a no-brainer. So I decided to leave Thailand. I sold the triathlon company to guys in Singapore, and I went all in with Ylopo, and I'm so glad I did. It's the best thing I've ever done. So the biggest sort of change in my life recently is that I got to move from Los Angeles. I was in a small one-bedroom apartment for the last 3 years, close to Howard and G, but now with COVID, they gave me the privilege of actually being able to move, and I'm now here in Las Vegas. I have a beautiful big home, and I'm paying less than I was in my rent in LA. So super excited to be a homeowner, super excited about the future with Ylopo. I just really, really love what I do and what we're doing and all the clients I get to meet. So enough about me. I'd love to hear more about you. Please put it in the comments below, and I look forward to meeting you guys, hopefully at an in-event conference or the Ylopo conference at the end of the year. Thank you. Bye-bye.